What's going on, guys? Welcome to your second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and stimulus news report for Monday, November 30th. We are just 11 days away from the deadline for the government spending bill to be approved. We have 14 days until the Electoral College meets and determines who the next president of the United States is going to be. We have 18 days before Congress goes back on recess once again for the rest of the year, and we have 32 days before millions and millions of Americans begin facing the toughest times of their lifetimes. All this can be overcome though. However, we would need Congress to act and agree to pass a bipartisan stimulus package before January 1st, 2021. Congressman Tom Reed has stated that the only stimulus package being discussed between Mitch McConnell and the GOP is currently between $500 billion and $1 trillion. So it's far less than Democrats want, and it's actually more than what Mitch McConnell was thinking. Mitch McConnell does not want to go over $500 billion, but many Democrats, many Republicans are urging both leaders to negotiate and get closer to a deal. Without another stimulus package prior to December 31st, the financial hardships for American families is only going to worsen. Evictions will skyrocket. The unemployed will see their benefits disappear. Businesses will continue to lay off employees, and families will continue to go hungry. Currently, the last estimate that I read stated that 26 million households say they do not have enough food to eat. That's tough. That is tough, being that we're going through the holidays. We just got done with Thanksgiving, and 26 million households don't have enough food to actually eat. That's a lot of people. And for food banks, they saw a spike in demand, not just for Thanksgiving. They have seen a spike in demand that keeps climbing, and it's happened ever since the $600 unemployment boost back in July ran out. Currently, food banks around the country are so overwhelmed with demand that they are rationing food. This is something that you usually don't see. You usually see a food bank put big bags or boxes of food together to distribute to the families showing up. However, because there's such a shortage of food and there's such a demand for it, they have to take those big bags and make 2 to 3 bags from every one ration. That's tough. It's very tough, and this is the reason why Americans are going hungry. Some families are even saying they have to drive for hours to get to a long food line and wait maybe another hour just get through the line to get food for their family for the rest of the week. And this is what we're coming down to. And what I can tell you is that this level of desperation that we're seeing right now is not going away anytime soon. At least not without the help of Congress. And that's what's so sickening with all this, is Congress can act. Congress could do something now, and this could help out millions of people. But yet, where's Congress? They're on recess right now, or they were. They're coming back to Washington today, so hopefully we get some answers. I can tell you right now, I'm getting tired of seeing all these people. I drive down the street, see a bunch of homeless people. Not that I don't want to see. I don't like seeing homeless people. I understand that there's always been homeless people there, but in a time like this, there shouldn't be. There should be so many people out there to give, and that's the hard part. Is right now Congress is not giving when they should be. But let me put all this into perspective for you. Okay, let me break down the numbers, because once you understand these, you're gonna see that it's tough. It's tough to see what's going on when Congress stepped up at one point and now they're nowhere to be found. Back in March, the United States was reporting roughly 2,000 deaths per day. This was back in March. The positive cases were around 30,000 per day. So the death rate was fairly high at this point. This was in March. This is when the whole pandemic really started here in the United States. And because of this, Congress decided to pass a $2.2 trillion stimulus package to help the American people, businesses, and states. This package passed with overwhelming support from both parties. There was really not many people that didn't support this. Well, this package, the CARES Act, it included $1,200 stimulus checks to filers and $500 for dependents, $600 per week in unemployment boost for up to 16 weeks. It expired on August 1st. Also, forgivable loans for businesses, small businesses, medium-sized and large businesses alike. $150 billion for states, and there's so much more in this package as well. I'm not going to go over all of it. Now, over 8 months later, we're in November 30th. The United States is reporting roughly 1,450 deaths per day. We're also reporting 165,000, this is average, 165,000 positive cases per day. And we're seeing record levels of hospitalizations and ICU patients. So, the amount of deaths are down 23%, and the amount of positive cases is up 550%. That's great. Deaths are down, but the positive cases are actually up. That's not good. Yet, Congress continues to fight over what stimulus package to give the American people. Why can't Congress just come together, pass standalone bills, get the American people back on their feet, and then we can come back to the table as we move forward together? But we need to be together. We will come back to the table and we will move forward as one. But once the American people have been taken care of, states have been taken care of, people on unemployment have been taken care of, the testing, the tracing, the treatment has been taken care of. Stimulus checks are given out to the American people. That's what's needed. So many experts are struggling to understand why Congress can't pass another stimulus package when all the health experts have been telling them that the virus won't go away overnight. The virus will continue. It will continue, and vaccines and time are the only two things that are going to solve this problem. We will most likely still be in the same situation we're in right now, sometime until the middle to end of the summer 2021. If, and only if, more people decide to get the vaccine early on. A lot of people are saying they will not get the vaccine. But if this happens, then don't look at summer 2021 as the time when the United States kind of goes back to normal. Look more towards the fall of 2021, winter of 2021, or possibly spring of 2022. So, we're still a long ways away, and we need Congress's help. So now that you know those numbers, I have another number that I want to share with you. 5%. 5%. What is this number? This number, the 5%, is the estimated amount of money that states have left over when you combine all the funding from the states that is currently left over from the CARES Act. Remember, they received they received $150 billion. So this means if you combine all the states' leftover funding at this point today, this is just what estimates are, then they should have roughly $7.5 billion in unused funds. This might not seem like a lot of money. It's a lot of money to you and I. However, this might not seem like a lot, but it really is for certain instances. What states are currently asking Congress to do is just extend the deadline. Because if states do not use the COVID relief from the CARES Act by December 31st, as of January 1st, 2021, it's supposed to go back to the U.S. government. Well, states are asking, can we just get an extension? Push it back a couple months, push it back another month, so that we have time to put together legislation to get some type of funding out to the American people, some type of funding out to our residents. Well, there are some plans. And here's a report that I read this morning that suggests states are asking Congress to extend this deadline so they can use these funds for an unemployment boost. I know what you're thinking, because I thought the same thing as well. Why would states prefer an unemployment boost over any other type of stimulus? States could take that money and put it into their general funds, which is going to do absolutely nothing for the economy. It's just going to put some savings into the state. They could do unemployment boosts. They could do maybe stimulus checks. They could do money for people on Social Security. There's so many things they could do. Rental assistance, food assistance, mortgage assistance, right? There's so many things. But the report that I was reading says, according to the Congressional Budget Office, when the government spends $1 on unemployment, they see 67 cents of that dollar go back into the economy. So for every $100 of unemployment, this unemployment boost, $67 of that would go back into the economy, would go back in and would keep circulating through the economy and through the state. So it would actually benefit them quite a bit. But the reason why states say they should be responsible for allocating the funds is not because of that number, it's because of this second figure. The Congressional Budget Office, who's very good with numbers, says when the government gives $1 to states, the economy sees 88 cents for every dollar of that money. So this is why states want to be responsible for allocating the money. The state holds on to the money. They decide, okay, we're going to give some to, let's say, the unemployed. We're going to give some to this person, that person, or we'll pass this piece of legislation and we'll provide our residents with the funding that they need, because every state is going to be different. Some will require more unemployment. Some will require more for rental assistance and food assistance. Some may just go to the state to keep their employees employed. Again, every state is different, but this is what the states are asking for at this point, is for Congress just extend the deadline, allow us to allocate the money as we see fit for more COVID relief, and we should get through this. Again, this is all according to the Congressional Budget Office, who, like I said, is extremely good with numbers. I didn't come up with these numbers myself. Honestly, I don't know how I could. So, what we know right now is that states do have some reasoning behind how they want to issue the money to their residents. But will Congress give it to them? Will Congress allow them to do this? Because what I can tell you is if if the government decides we need that money back, we need that $7.5 billion back, what do you think is going to happen? The money is just going to sit there and do absolutely nothing. Just like that $455 billion that Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin requested back from the Federal Reserve, what do you think he's going to do with that money? He's just going to put it into the general fund or whatever, and it's going to sit there until Congress decides we could use that $455 billion. We could do this and that and this and that. Well, until they decide, it's just going to sit there. And lastly, December. Okay, and I want to talk about Social Security. Okay, because I know a lot of people have been seeing reports, and I just asked this the other day actually, is December is the first month that the cost of living adjustment kicks in for those of you receiving Social Security benefits. You're probably thinking, yes, it's about time. Well, yes, don't celebrate too early, because the COLA, or cost of living adjustment, is 1.3%. On average, it's going to give Social Security recipients between $15 and $20 extra per month. So not a lot. It's going to give you less than $1 a day. Between 50 cents and $1, 50 cents to 75 cents extra per day. So not a lot. That's average. Unfortunately, even though the cost of living adjustment kicks in December of 2020, you actually don't see the check until January 2021. Checks are behind by 1 month. Okay? You need to keep that in mind. The good news here is that the Biden camp is looking into multiple different ways to provide additional benefits to Social Security recipients. We've talked about this before. There are some Democrats who have proposed, let's give more money. Let's push it up. Let's give it, 3%, maybe 5%. But then you got Joe Biden, and his plan is to give Social Security recipients an additional $200 every single month for the entire year. Do I think either one of those things could happen? I do think there'll be something like that will happen. It will most likely be something in the realm of $100 extra per month, maybe $50. $200 I think is going to be a little bit high. I don't know how he's going to get bipartisan support on that, but I do think it will be something. $50 to $100 is very likely, and I think he could get bipartisan support on that, because right now there's 65 million people on Social Security. In 2020, average, their estimates right about 65 million people. To get an extra $100 every single month, it's a decent amount of money, but this money will go back into the economy. Right now, the majority of seniors are not holding on to their money. The majority of seniors are trying to not pay as much for medications. However, when prices keep going up and their income stays the same, they need additional money to be able to pay for those medications. They can't ration insulin. You can't do that. You can't ration your medications. You can't ration oxygen. You try to ration oxygen, guarantee you are going to die. So this is very important. I think this is extremely important. But again, we will see what Congress thinks. I know many of you on Social Security are getting tired of hearing, oh, we're going to give more money to the unemployed. We're going to give more money to people with an ITIN number or illegals. We're going to give money to all these people except you. Everyone on Social Security is wondering, what? Why? Why do people on unemployment get more money than us when we've been working for years? Why should people on unemployment get more money than people that are working and risking their lives and are not getting hazard pay? Right? I can't tell you what Congress is thinking, because honestly, nobody knows. Congress doesn't even know. So right now, this is what we know regarding stimulus and regarding the moves and what to expect going forward. As always, as I know more, I promise I will share more. Consider subscribing so I can keep you updated on everything that's going on. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video. Share this video with your friends, family, and colleagues over on Facebook so they too can stay updated as well. And I'll see you guys on the next one.